This short video documents a 6-day, 5-night trip that members of the Tucson Backpacking Meetup group took to Yosemite National Park in the Tuolumne Meadows area. One could do a lot worse than the itinerary that we follow. These are our backpackers at the beginning of the trip. Nice and neat and clean, well rested, well fed. Our trip begins on Sunday afternoon across from the Tuolumne Meadows Visitor Center on the trail to Glen Aulin. Right at the beginning was our first water hazard, where we first got our feet wet.
Hey, you're going to be on YouTube, man.
Oh, you're filming. Hi, Jerry from Guam. Now live in Tucson.
After a few hours hiking, we came to the Glen Aulin High Sierra Camp. Just before making camp, we crossed the Tuolumne River. After crossing the river, we came down the side of the falls that lies right behind the campsite. This is really a phenomenal waterfall. Day 2 began in the morning with a day hike along the Tuolumne River along what is called the Grand Canyon of the Tuolumne. After hiking back, we headed out along the trail towards our campsite for the second night. First thing in the morning, our intrepid hikers crossed the bridge over the river behind the campsite as we set off on our day hike along the Grand Canyon of the Tuolumne. The views along the canyon were spectacular. Of course, we had to get our feet really wet along this trail. Finally, we came to Waterwheel Falls, our destination. You can see why it's called Waterwheel Falls by the way it curves up from the stream bed like there's a water wheel underneath the water. Day 3 had us crossing the highway at Cathedral Lake as we headed towards our camp for the next night at Sunrise Lakes. There our campers engaged in strange sunset worshiping rituals. Pretty weird. There were campfires, delicious dinners, and unfortunately, lots of mosquitoes. We camped for 2 nights at Sunset Lakes, which was really nice because it was a great place to camp and has swimming. The next day was the big day for our hike, up to the peak of Cloud's Rest. Along the way, we filtered water to drink out of the streams. We consulted maps to navigate our way. Finally, we made it to the approach trail for the Cloud's Rest summit. The last few hundred yards were a bit precarious. Off to the right is Half Dome, about 1,100 feet below us. I finally had to stop videographing my hike up the approach trail because it was just too hairy and I needed both hands. Some of our hikers were a little speedier than me. After hiking up Cloud's Rest, we made it back to camp and did a little swimming. Yes, that's snow on the hillside above the lake, and the water was pretty darn chilly. Jerry was the neatnik of the group. He even rigged up a little shower behind his tent. Finally, it was time to leave Sunset Lakes behind and head towards Cathedral Lakes. Here some of our hikers just felt compelled to break into song.
Beautiful.
We even stopped along the way for a bit of a snowball fight. Can you tell these people are not from Minnesota or Wisconsin? Nope.
I got armed with rocks. I knew it was coming.
Behind our camp at Cathedral Lakes was a beautiful granite rock field and a tremendous view. Finally, it was time for our hike out. Along the way, we came across some interesting springs with water just bubbling out of the ground. After our hike ended, we stopped at some hot springs to wash off 6 days accumulated grime. Boy, did that feel good.
Chilling? All right. Relaxed? Recovering? Yeah, looks good, looks good. Woo! What a spot.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this hike in Yosemite National Park, feel free to contact me by commenting on the YouTube video.